Angry guy here, and women are furious that men are rejecting the friend zone. Guys, if you're enjoying this content, please help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers on our way to 2 million by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Now let's begin. Women are furious that men are rejecting the friend zone. As you can see, a lot of women are screeching and hollering about the prices of everything. They're not able to afford things anymore, and they keep the men in the friend zone because, they get these guys to provide for them resources, protect them, do everything a boyfriend does, but they give nothing in return. Here's just one example of that.
So it's totally fine if you want to friend zone somebody. By all means, if you want to get rejected and then stay friends with them, that's like your prerogative. For me personally, don't really care to be friends with men, if that makes sense. I'm 29 years old. I'm not getting any younger. I'm here being very, very intentional. So if you're not interested in me, like, that's totally fine. Like, cool, no problem. But like, for me, like, we just don't need to speak. He's not my friend. We are not friends. We are at most acquaintances. We do not speak outside of the gym. Only time that we speak is coming up to me and saying hi. For me, I just feel like it's awkward where if I've gone out of my way to like shoot my shot and it's uncomfortable that like, okay, you rejected me, cool, fine, whatever. But like, we don't have to like talk to each other in the gym. It makes me feel weird.
So guys, really what's happening here is these women, they are so salty. They do this to the men all the time, but when men turn around and they reverse it, because men don't friend zone women, they F zone women. So they put them in what they call the F zone. So, women will still be able to have, some type of relationship with the men. In other words, the guys will hook up with them, but they're not going to, they're not going to do boyfriend things for them. And that's what makes these women angry, because she's more than happy to friend zone a man who will give her the utility of a boyfriend while she gives nothing in return. She's not going to do girlfriend things, but, she's realizing that men are now becoming more intentional. They're not spending any money on these women. They're not getting involved unless they get what they want out of the relationship. And, they're flipping the script on these women. And as a result, these women are extremely salty. They're extremely furious about it because they're getting older. And, as you see what she said, she's dating with intention. In reality, this is a person that was out there in the streets. She you can understand that they had their fun. They were going around, and now that they're older, they're trying to find a man to, take away their shame. And it's just not going to happen. Men have woken up.
Most you're willing to spend on a first date?
Not a lot. I don't know, man. Like $40, $50. It's very different with my girlfriend, right? But like with a new girl that I'm meeting up with, my plan A is to invite her straight to my place for a bottle of wine. If she's not comfortable coming over, I'll suggest let's go for a walk with my adorable husky while he supervises us, and then we can go back up to have a drink if you feel more comfortable. If she says no to that, I'll offer to meet her at like a dive bar nearby. But if she's like, oh, I want to go somewhere fancier, I'll just walk away. I just like have no patience for that.
Now, being that your relationship is open on your side, do you also tell the new woman that you're seeing that you have a girlfriend?
If she directly asks me, then yes, but I won't go out of my way to tell her that I have a girlfriend, at least not on the first date. But if she asks me, I won't lie. The issue a lot of guys get into isn't the fact that, for example, they're fucking other girls. It's the fact that the girl feels like she's been like kind of tricked or something like that.
So guys, I think this is really what a lot of passport kings should be doing as well. They shouldn't be settling for, the first thing that comes along. A lot of these men, like, they're frustrated, they're tired, they've dealt with women in Western society, and they're like, okay, well, I just met a really wonderful woman overseas, and I'm going to get married to her. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, you didn't really have the experience that you should have had. You need to date a bit. You need, like, if she's the right one for you, then she will wait for you. That's the truth. And honestly, you shouldn't be getting married. You can commit to her and let her know, like, we live together, but we're not going to get married because I don't believe in that government contract. No man should be making it official like that. You know, basically you can go and come as you please, but once you're living with a person, that's enough of a commitment, and that's what you should be doing. And you shouldn't be hooking up with any woman in Western society or living with any woman in Western society. But if you decide that you want to settle with a woman overseas, then you can live with her, but don't marry her. There's no reason for a man to marry a woman at this point in time. There are too many risks, and there's really no reward. When basically she'll get you access to your utility and your resources, and in return, she's going to create value in your life by cooking, cleaning, being, fit, friendly, submissive, agreeable, and just the way it's supposed to be. But these men, like a lot of these men, are just done with it. They're like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. If she doesn't want to change, then so be it. But men are not running out to save the princess anymore.
Attractive guy who I was flirting with. He was flirting with me also, and I thought, oh my god, this is it. Not really. Anyway, he came over to my table and said unfortunately he was leaving, and I said, I don't normally do this, but could I have your number? To which he responded, if you don't normally do this, maybe don't start now. And I was like, what? Okay, so you don't want me to have your number? And he said that he was trying to be a gentleman. And I was like, okay. And just ran off. What the fuck? What? I've never asked a man for his number before, and I don't go out there and expect men to give me their number, but we were flirting. We were being really Why did he come over and say, I'm not giving it any more energy. I just wanted to share it because I'm never asking a man for his number ever again.
Maybe he was not flirting. He might have just been being himself, but she thought he was flirting with her because she liked him. This ultimate Chad turned her down. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's
guys, it's so crazy. These women, like, they think that the world revolves around them. This guy was just clearly being polite to her. He had zero interest in her. She was in her own little world. She thought that, of course, I'm wonderful. I am special. I'm a 10. So, of course, every guy that I'm interested in is also interested in me. This is the crazy thing. Women go, oh, why can't men understand that just if a woman is being polite to you doesn't mean she likes you? And yet women have no emotional intelligence. A woman cannot figure out that a man is not interested in her because she's never had to compete for men. She's never had to actually try. So she figures that she can get every man that she wants because of the simps. But in the society we're in now, when high-value men, or men just in general that are not simps, are out there, they have no problem rejecting a woman straight to her face, and most women don't even know how to take it. They don't even realize that the guy was not interested. He was just being polite, minding his business, and she was basically trying to send out as many indicators as possible to tell him that she's interested, but she wasn't noticing that he was not interested. He was just being polite to her and even friendly to her, but he was not interested. And if a guy is interested in a woman, typically he will escalate and he will ask her for her phone number or her contact information. If a guy is not interested in a woman, more often than not, he will simply walk away. And in today's environment, a lot of men, even if they would have taken a chance previously, they're not going to take a chance anymore. They're not going to risk their livelihood. And to be honest, a lot of guys in Western society, women don't realize that these men are no longer interested in dating Western women. What they are doing is they are rejecting and they are replacing. I said this already. A lot of dudes are already doing this. They have second homes in Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Philippines, Mexico, and they only work in the United States. They live in a camper or a truck or a van, whatever. And then once they're done, they basically just fly out. Like, for example, like a lot of these truck drivers now, they don't have to they don't need a permanent residence because, for example, they don't have to own the truck. They just need the truck to use the truck when they're working. And when they're not working, they just fly out of the country. Like, think about how insane this is. You're a truck driver, and these trucks have like living quarters. So you don't even have to own the truck. You're just driving the truck. And when you're not driving, you're sleeping and living in the truck. And then, once that contract is done, all you do is you just fly out of the country. You get on a plane and you fly out of the country to Mexico or Costa Rica or Dominican Republic or any one of these countries that are nearby, or a country in the Caribbean, Jamaica, wherever. There's a ton of different countries to choose from. And you have your place over there that you're paying like $120 or $150 a month to rent, and it's fully furnished. Everything is there for you, and you go and you chill in this warm, beautiful weather with women who are fit, feminine, and friendly and respect you. You live like a king, and when another contract pops up, you take it if you choose to. And you work when you feel like working, and you don't when you don't. And you bank and you stack all of your paper. See, that's really it. As long as a guy has a place to live, for the most part in the US, just like a roof over his head, he doesn't care. And like I said, it could be a camper, it could be a truck, it could be a van. But that's what most men are going to do now. Most men are not going to spend their money in the US. And if they try to keep men in the US, it's not going to work, because it's not going to send men back to the plantation. Oh no, it's just going to drive men to the woods, and picking up acres of land and leaving cheap on these acres of land. This is really it. Like, oh, you're going to tax men to help women, if because the economy is getting worse and women need help. Okay, go ahead and tax away. Men will just basically reduce their tax liability down to next to nothing through consultation work and forming an LLC, and they'll get Medicaid, or they'll apply for Medicaid, they'll get Medicaid, or a very cheap insurance policy. They'll be just fine. And they'll qualify for a bunch of government benefits, including food stamps and probably even cash aid. And they will literally use that money to just live in the US when they have to, and those resources, and then they'll leave as soon as they're finished. So for example, as soon as they can get out, that's because if you don't let these men out, they'll live on a piece of land dirt cheap without any other issues. Men are not going back to Western relationships. This is the fall of Rome. And if you try to keep these men in the country, then basically it's only going to show a sleight of hand that, they were never really free. And that's only going to make them even less likely to engage in society and to hoard whatever money they have. And if, banks start cracking down on their bank accounts, then whatever funds men have access to, the moment they get access back to their bank accounts, they'll just pull out whatever money they can and move it over into crypto. And they would rather lose every dime of crypto than not have access to their funds at any given moment. Or they'll buy gold bonds, they'll buy physical gold, they'll buy precious metal, and most of all, they will buy land. Because if there's one thing that they can't really do, is land. That's the reason why guys like Bill Gates own so much farmland, because it's good land. Because even as the dollar is depreciating, the value of land continues to skyrocket. So that's what guys will buy. So guys will say, okay, so that's what you're doing. Okay, I will buy a piece of land. And there's this notion that we need money to survive. What you need are skills. You need food, you need shelter, you need clothing, and a lot of dudes don't realize you can get all of those things without actually having to spend a dime. There's a lot of people who have a ranch. They live on a ranch. They have animals on this ranch. And basically, or they live in the woods or wherever. And they have, and they're able to sustain themselves, through, raising animals. There are a lot of people who just who will raise rabbits, and the rabbits multiply very, very quickly, and they store the meat. They get a freezer and they store the meat. You can store it, you can salt it. How do you think our ancestors lived? And they will have food for days. They'll go, some of these guys are hunters. They'll go into the woods, they'll go and they'll get themselves a deer, and once that deer is processed, boy, that meat is going to last a while. A couple of deers, that meat is going to last a while. A lot of people live like this. Okay, so I mean, the more that they push at men, the more difficult it's going to be, because men are going to push back. Men are just going to walk away. Guys, if you're enjoying these videos, please help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers on our journey to 2 million subscribers by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Women are furious that men are rejecting the friend zone. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, and we'll talk about it there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.